Welcome to the Prepperverse, where we will explore the art, science, and philosophy of preparedness. I'm Doc JMO. Today we're going to be talking about the 7 essentials you must have in your bug out bag. And in this video, we're going to be truly getting through the 3 aspects, the art, science, and philosophy. Not in great depth, but just kind of hitting through some of those, but it's truly a unique topic, the bug out bag. And it's one that people have challenges with, or have some little obstacles kind of getting through, getting one built. But we're going to discuss a few things, but mainly the 7 things that you got to have in there to be effective, to be an effective bug out bag. So this is one of my favorite subjects. I love them. I have a few of them, and it's not just about having a bug out bag. It's about having the peace of mind that if you have to rapidly exit a situation, this is one thing that you can grab that's going to have you your essentials in it. And it's one thing that every person in the world, especially in Americans, should have or should be considering building, if not already, because the government is telling you to have one. Build an emergency 72-hour kit. Some of you may remember their public relations ad of building your 72-hour kit for the upcoming zombie apocalypse. So anyway, it's a good thing to have. I've got a couple of them, a few of them actually. I have a main one that I keep in my house. I have one in my car. I call it a car bob. I have it at work, call it a work bob. Just things to get you, the necessities to get you from point A to point B if need be. So those are some of the things we're gonna talk about today real quick. I'm gonna try and keep it a condensed video. If not, then we may make it a part 2, part 3. But it's really a great topic. Okay, so the 7 essentials that you must have in your bug out bag to be effective. The first thing is water. You're gonna want to have water in your bug out bag, because that's something you just have to have, because you can die with it in just a short amount of time depending on the conditions. And so what I mean by having water, and excuse me if you will, I'll be reaching out, I have things kind of laid around here, so I'm just going to kind of grab so but anyway, in your bag you can have a bottled water like this. I really like these smart water bottles for a few reasons. Number one, they're light, they're refillable, and you can refill right into it depending on which filter you have. So you want to have some water, but also in that category, you may want to have a few ways to, if you find water, it may not be clean. So you want a few ways to purify your water, whether the water that you find, if you procure some, boiling, you can use iodine tabs, or you can use a filter. I have a couple, but I only carry one in my bag. It's a Sawyer, and the nice thing about this Sawyer is that it screws right onto the smart water bottle, so it screws right on, so that works really well. And then you have the little bit more expensive one. There's a Katahdin. It's a heavier, it works faster, but you will be carrying that extra weight. And weight is one thing you definitely want to consider in building your bob. I like to keep mine no more than 40 pounds. I like it lighter if I can, but that's another discussion when we start going through the art, science, and philosophy. I like a lighter bag because I could be able to travel further, because you know that a bag, loaded bag, for every mile it kind of like gains weight because you're losing energy and the such. So weight is a factor that you want to seriously consider in acquiring your items. Now, building a bug out bag does not have to be expensive. It could be inexpensive. And there are a variety of types of bags that you can use out there. And so don't feel like you have to go out and buy the most tactical or the cool looking backpack. It could just be any backpack. It could be a bright orange one if you want. But if you're gonna do that, get some spray paint, because you don't want to be sticking out like a sore thumb. The bag that I use primarily is when I'm out on the trails. It's just an Osprey 70 liter. I've used this for many years, and it works very well. It's just a regular backpacking backpack. So like I said, you could use old military ones, or you could go the high speed super light ones, the Dyneema ones. But I like to find something kind of in the middle, you know, with a decent price range, not too expensive but durable. I don't want something ripping on me and having it go south when I need it to perform. So when you get a bag and you start putting these items in it, you're definitely going to want to test it. You're going to want to take it out in the field. You want to field it and get used to the weight and everything else. So there was a bag. Okay, I already said water. The second thing is shelter. In the shelter, I personally include my sleeping bag. Okay, the shelter I primarily use is just something I got off of Guide Gear. It's like a 12 by 10 tarp, nylon tarp. In there, I have some parachute cord and some stakes, and I just make a certain configuration depending on my environment and where I'm at. I use that parachute cord for tie downs, and if you don't know what it is, it kind of looks like this. It comes in different colors. This one's a camouflage color, but within it, inside, when you cut it open, it has 7 little strands in there. It's a very invaluable tool. With this and duct tape in your body, you could build anything basically. It's just crazy good. And you could use the filaments on the inside for any type of scenario, to you know, shoelaces, shoe line, fishing line, whatever you can dream up, you could probably use it for. It's good stuff. So shelter. So we got water, shelter. Third thing is, and this is in no particular order, I'm just kind of running through that. Fire. You definitely need to have a way or several ways to create fire. And once again, sorry about reaching out of you. But anyway, I carry a little kit, and this I have actually over time dwindled it down, and I just have a couple different ways of creating fire. I have a lighter. I use a ferrocerium rod and a metal rod to create sparks with like Vaseline impregnated gauze or cotton ball, and even a 9-volt battery and steel wool and magnifying glass as well, because you want to, depending on the, you know, the environment that you find yourself in, so you want to have a few different ways of creating fire. If it, you know, if it's raining, you can use something else that's going to be a little bit easier. So fire is definitely, you want to have a couple sources. Now I also keep something on the back of my neck knife that I carry as well, and I just have Vaseline impregnated gauze in there with a ferrocerium rod and a striker. I had a really good friend of mine build this for me when we had our kids in Boy Scouts. But that's kind of what that looks like. Nothing special, super cheap, works very well. Food. You're going to want to have food in your pack. If it's a 72-hour pack, you're going to want to eat. So you know, and here's the art part of it. When you construct your bag, it's a part of you. It's going to represent you and what works best for you. And so you get to kind of mix it up a little bit. I carry different things. I like to carry like Gorp. That works well. It's real quick, high energy. Plus I'll carry some, I won't carry MRE, it's a little too heavy, but I will carry backpacker pantry or mountain house, something like that. A few of them in there to get me from point A to point B. So food is definitely an item you want to have covered in your bag. The next item is navigation. You're going to want to have a map of your area, or at least know where you're going. And you always want to remain on course. So, you know, a map and a compass. This is a compass that I use. I have another one in my other bag. So navigation you want to have covered as well. After navigation is signaling. You're going to want to have some way to signal people. And the neat thing about this compass is that it has a mirror. You can reflect. Also, I put a whistle on there as well. Now you could use a headlamp, you know, for signaling, if you will. You could use anything that's going to be reflective. Smoke, you start a fire, you get smoke, but you want to have different ways to signal someone in the distance if you need to. And then medical. You're definitely going to want to have a kit, medical kit, because things can happen either to you or someone else. So you're going to definitely want to have a well-constructed medical kit in your bug out bag. So there we covered 7, I believe. We have the water, shelter, fire, food, navigation, signaling, and medical. So I could drone on and on this subject. It's one of my favorites to talk about, but that's a few of the 7 essentials you got to have a complete bob. You just have to cover the bases. Now, the types of items that you have in there will vary. It comes into the art part, what works for you. And if you're not quite sure, get that bag, field it, see how it works, and try it in different types of weather. So, in this channel, we're going to go through each and every one of these items and break it down, and we're going to show you how we use it and everything else. But I just wanted to give an introductory video into your bob. But mostly, you know, as you're starting to construct it, the 7 things that you want to have in it. So with that, please hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up button. We appreciate it. Support the channel, and we shall talk to you later.